لله رب العالمين وصلى الله وسلم على محمد وآله وصحبه وسلم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. My dear respected brothers and sisters, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala grant you success, and may Allah grant you beneficial knowledge and righteous action. And there is no doubt that knowledge is extremely important, especially the knowledge that has to do with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And that's why Imam Abu Hanifa Nu'man ibn Thabit rahimahullah, he said al-fiqh is two types. Jurisprudence is two categories. The first category is the major fiqh. The major fiqh is the one that has to do with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And the second one is the one that has to do with salat, zakat, and other than that. So we are studying, barakallah fikum, together this tremendous tafsir from Al-Imam Abdul Rahman ibn Nasr al-Sa'di rahimahullah, as it is not hidden from you that the Shaykh rahimahullah, he was the teacher of our Shaykh Al-Allama Muhammad bin Salih Al-Uthaymeen rahimahullah. We're still studying Surah Al-Baqarah. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he says, إِلَّا أَنْ يَخَافَ أَلَّا يُقِيمَ حُدُودَ اللَّهِ فإن خفتم ألا يقيما حدود الله فلا جناح عليهما فيما افتدت به تلك حدود الله فلا تعتدوها ومن يتعد حدود الله فأولئك هم الظالمون. Divorce may be revoked twice. Then either retain her in an acceptable manner or release her with kindness. It is unlawful for you to take back from them anything that you have given them as dowry, except if both fear that they may not be able to maintain the limits ordained by Allah. If you fear that they would not be able to maintain the limits ordained by Allah, then there is no sin on either of them if she gives back her dowry for her release. These are the limits set by Allah, so do not transgress them. Those who transgress the limit set by Allah, then they are the wrongdoers. The Shaykh said during the pre-Islamic era, means the time before Islam, and the early period of Islam, men would apply an indefinite process of divorce and rapprochement. When a husband wanted to aggrieve his wife, he would divorce her and then exercise rapprochement with her, period, to the completion of al-iddah, only to divorce her again and again. Exercise rapprochement with her. This vicious cycle would continue indefinitely, and only Allah knows how aggrieved and distressed this endless game of torture made the helpless woman. For this reason, Allah decrees divorce. So now, what the Shaykh is saying, that before the coming of Islam, the people of Jahiliyyah, they used to torture their women. So what he does, he will divorce her, and when her iddah is about to end, he will take her back. Okay? He will take her back. Just to divorce her. He will take her back just to divorce her. Okay, now when he takes her back to divorce her, what's going to happen? The iddah is going to get prolonged more and more. Na'udhu billah min dhalik. So this is how they used to treat their women. So this is abuse. Like there was a lot of abuse amongst the women in the time of Jahiliyyah. Look how Islam honors the woman. That is the divorce where the husband has the right of rapprochement. Rapprochement means he has the right to take her back. He has the right to take her back. And in Islamically speaking, you have the first time. If you divorce your wife and she goes through her iddah, her waiting period, you can take her back during the iddah. You can take her back during the iddah. And you don't need to do a new contract. Okay. This is very important. A lot of people don't understand. Okay. If you divorce your wife, number one, you divorce her when she's clean, not when she's mensing. If she's menstruating and you divorced her, this divorce will be a divorce not according to the Sunnah. They call it divorce bid'ah. This is divorce bid'ah, means it is an innovative type of divorce because you divorced her while she is still menstruating. So she has to be clean first. She has to be clean. Number two, you cannot touch her if you have the intention to divorce her. You don't have relations with her. Why is that? Because if you have the intention to divorce her, why are you going to have relations with her? Because if you do, you may get her pregnant. And if she's pregnant, then the iddah will be much longer. You understand? The iddah will be much longer because she has to wait until she drops off her load, until she delivers the baby. So that's going to be too long for her, you know? So that's why Islam has guidelines. You see, when you divorce her, she has to be clean. Okay? Then, if you have the intention not to take her back, do not have relations with her. But if you wish to have relations with her and you want to take her back, then you can, but with the intention to take her back. Not with the intention what the people before the pre-Islamic era, they would take her back and then divorce her again. أعوذ بالله من ذلك. طيب. The Shaykh, he said, then the husband has the right of a rapprochement maybe twice. So, if a husband is sincere and does not wish to cause harm to his wife, then he can reconsider his decision about divorce and exercise rapprochement with her during the period. During the period. As far as given divorce in excess of this, it is not considered as a valid divorce. Because if someone divorces his wife more than twice in one sitting and applies rapprochement, he is either committing a forbidden thing or has no interest in keeping her as his wife and just wants to harm her. Hence, Allah has commanded in keeping her as his wife and just wants to harm her. Hence, Allah has commanded the husband to either retain his wife with affection and respect in an acceptable manner, treating her with respect and accommodating all of her needs like other good husband, and this is the more desirable option, or release her with kindness and separate from her in an amicable way. So you keep her in good terms or you release her. It is also out of piety and kindness that whatever the husband gifted or gave to his wife, he should not repossess it. Some people, because they become very vindictive, say, give me back the gift I gave you and all. This is not permissible. This is not permissible. As this is oppression and will be considered as if he is demanding something without giving something in return. For this reason, Allah declares, it is not lawful for you to take back from them anything of what you have given them, except where both fear that they would be unable to maintain the limits ordained by Allah. So if that is the situation, then she can give him back the dowry. But when she gives him back the dowry, this is not divorce. This is called khula'. This is called khula'. And khula' is a woman separate herself from her husband by giving back the dowry. So she gives him back the dowry. He releases her. He said, I have granted you khula. And that's it. It's a done deal. Once he grants her khula, then they're no longer married. The contract is null void. So what if someone says, well, after that, they regretted and they wanted to get remarried again? They have to do it all from scratch. So they have to have the wali involved, and the two witnesses, and the dowry, and all that. But there is no walima. The walima, Sheikh Al-Fawzan, he said you don't do the walima again. So walima is done only in the beginning of the wedding. But now, you don't do the walima again. Because somebody may say, well, she's a new wife now. No. You don't have to do the walima at this time. Because the walima was already done when he took her hand in marriage. No. طيب. Okay, the Sheikh, rahimahullah ta'ala, he said, now, this refers to a particular type of separation called khula'. It occurs when the wife may not be attracted to her husband's looks, habits, or religious shortcoming, and fears that she will not be able to discharge her duties. Okay. Now, if the husband is not good looking, for example, she's not attracted to him, or he has shortcoming in his religion. Like, for example, he delays the salat, he does not go to Jum'ah, he's not serious about his deen, So she has the right to seek khula' from him. If she feels uncomfortable with him and she feels that he will affect her and affect her children, then in that case it is permissible, for her to seek khula', because that's a valid reason for her. Now, the Shaykh, he said, the khula' is permissible in the religion. These referring to all the above described commandments are the limits of Allah. These are the commandments that Allah has made religiously obligated upon you, and which you must obey. And those who transgress the limits set by Allah, then they are the wrongdoers. Who can be a bigger oppressor than the one who crosses the boundaries of permissibility and enters the bounds of forbiddance? It's not that Allah made permissible enough for him. These are three kinds of transgression. Someone who transgresses in matters between him and Allah. Second, someone who commits shirk, which is the greatest transgression. And third, someone who transgresses in matters between him and others. Allah will never pardon shirk until the committer repents from this heinous deed. And he will also not pardon the usurping of people's rights from one another. So anything that you have done to someone, you have wronged someone, you have taken their wealth, you have attacked their honor, you have slandered them, anything like that, then you have to dissolve of it while you are alive, between you and that man. Before you meet Allah on Yawm al-Qiyamah, concerning transgression in matters that are between a person and Allah, would this transgression be less severe than shirk? Then Allah might pardon it, depending entirely upon His wisdom and will. We ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant us all beneficial knowledge and righteous action. Alhamdulillah Rabbil Alameen, wa sallallahu wa sallam ala Muhammad wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallim. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.